Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Well, in today's video we are going to look at a new cosmetic look for the M140i. It has been a while since we have done something that changed the look of the car, but we have finally done it. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this modification already a few weeks ago, because I was just on a 2-week holiday and I actually didn't have the time to make a video about it. But now, in this beautiful day, I finally have some time spare, and doggy is barking again. But let's have a look at this new modification. So the new modification that I am going to talk about that we have installed is, of course, as you can see, the M4 GTS style bonnet. So it's a very aggressive look, and I really think it suits the car very well. I'm not gonna do a review right now yet. I want to talk about some different aspects, but really overall I am very happy with this bonnet. The fitment is, I would say, like 90% good. It's not 100%, but really for something aftermarket, it's really good. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is that the cap here isn't 100%, but I've seen it on other cars as well. I don't know why it happened. It's not the bumper. I've tried it a million times. It's just as if this part isn't 100% straight, but otherwise it's a really gorgeous car. Fitment otherwise, like I said, is very decent. Like I said, I would give it like 9, 8.5 out of 10. So really a really cool look, and I think it really suits the car very well. And you would probably think like, hey, this is just a bonnet, you can't really do a review about it, but actually some driving aspects change. So by the way, if you also want this bonnet for your car, send this guy. I'm going to link his Instagram account, send him a message, and he will provide you with a great price for this bonnet. And say you come through me, and then he can arrange a good price with you for this epic bonnet, and then you can also look a little bit more like my car. So you would think, this is just a bonnet, nothing really changes except the looks. Well, matter of fact, that's kind of true. I mean, the car isn't driving anything different, but actually there are a few changes, which I think is worth mentioning. So let me first try to get out of this T section here, because okay, so there are a few little changes actually to the car that you wouldn't expect unless you think about it. So what happens is, actually there is a vent in the hood, as you probably know and you saw in pictures, but I will talk about that vent later on more. But that vent actually helps to keep the temperature cooler in the engine bay, because hot air can escape through that vent, which is normally trapped. And it really does work. After a drive, when I put my hand a decent amount over the vent, I feel hot air coming out of it, which is normal, but it helps to keep the temps down in the engine bay. Another thing that also is a little bit different is the isolation from the bonnet can be mounted on this bonnet. So from the original bonnet, it doesn't work because of the vent. So this bonnet is without isolation. And what does that do? Well, it actually makes you hear the intake in the engine a little bit better. Not crazy much, but definitely more noticeable. You hear you definitely hear the intake more. I have an aftermarket intake, and with the bonnet you definitely hear it more, which is a fun thing. I always love induction noises, but yeah, you can definitely hear the intake more, and the vent actually works. So I would say it's a win-win. Whew, that was close. A biker wasn't really happy with the maneuver I just did, but fuck you, you don't pay road tax, so shut the fuck up. Anyway, now let's wash the car. So another question that may arise if you wash your car or you're driving in heavy rain is how does it react to water? And as you can see, water does go through the vent and it makes the engine bay a little bit wet where the ventilation is. So not really a major problem. I don't think it's ideal, but no major water drops get really on places where they shouldn't get. The rest of the engine bay is pretty much dry, just there it isn't, but I don't think that's a major problem because the heat will actually also make this water evaporate really quickly. Another thing that you definitely notice when you have the car is the shape of the bonnet is different, and it actually is it's getting used to drive it now. I already have driven with the car, driven with this bonnet like for a few weeks, and I really don't notice it anymore and it doesn't bother me. But like the first time when you see that bulge there, which wasn't there before because it used to be like flat and this wasn't there, that's something you notice and you need to get used to a little bit. It doesn't really obstruct anything. Yeah, you lose a little bit of view over there, but nothing major, and it just drives normal as your original bonnet otherwise. But yeah, those are the few little changes that you actually notice while driving the car when you change to the GTS bonnet. So yeah, as you can hear, it's just more than a little visual upgrade. That's the biggest part why I did it. Visually, it looks amazing. It makes the front of the car so much more aggressive, and it really, really looks great in my opinion. But it also has a little performance, benefit that you can get better disposal of heat in your engine bay compartment, and yeah, you have to look out a little bit with the vent that you don't get too much water in it, but it's not really a problem in the rain or something. But keep an eye out of it that you don't pour liters of water over the the hood, and then basically your vision out of the car is a little bit different, but nothing really that matters. And you hear more induction noise, which I think is a big benefit because when you're driving normally you don't hear a difference, but when you're flooring it you hear a little bit more induction noise. With the aftermarket intake that I have, really is a benefit. So basically that's it for this video, but don't skip out yet because I'm going to clean up the car a little bit, and then I'm going to make some cool drone shots of the car with the new bonnet installed, so that you can see how it looks like a little bit better. So a little video montage, so stay tuned for that, and afterwards I would say see you later. So quick mention, I got a new SD card for my drone, but apparently it's a bit too slow. So my drone cut out shooting after 6-7 seconds. So I have some shots, but it's not completely what I wanted. But anyway, enjoy.